Tony Kami here. In this tutorial, I'll be teaching you guys how to make an app that allows the user to log in and register. I've already made a tutorial like this before, but however, I was using the Apache library, which is now depreciated, which means it's no longer in use by Android. But the good thing is, it's been replaced by Volley, which I think is a lot better than the Apache library. So I'll be showing you guys how to use Volley to make the login and register app. So I'll just show you guys what the app will be able to do. A user will be able to register by entering a name, username, password, and an age, and then they'll click register, and their details will be sent over to a server. As you can see, my details are over there, and now the user will be able to log in with the same details, and the app will give them information about their account, for example their age and their name. So let's get this started. Open up Android Studio, give your application a name. I'm going to name my application login register. Click next. Set that to API 15. Select empty activity, and now we want to write login activity. What this does is it creates a login activity and it makes that login activity the main activity, which means it will be the first page that shows when the user opens the app. Now click finish. Okay, so the first thing I want you guys to do is to open up the Gradle scripts and select build.gradle. That's the one that has module and app. Now what we're going to do is basically tell Android Studio that this project is going to use the Volley library. So to do that, just write compile com.android.volley :volley again 1.0.0. Now click sync now. Okay, that's all done. Now we're ready to use Volley in our project. Before we start designing this application, I need you guys to first create two more activities. So expand Java and then expand the login the register folder. Right click on it, go to new activity and then empty activity. Now the first activity we need to create is the register activity. This will deal with the registering. Create that. Now do the same thing again, but now we need to create the user area activity. Now we can start designing what the app will look like. I'm just going to close all the .java files. So now we have our XML files. I'll start by designing what the register will look like. The first thing that we need to do is to insert all the fields which the user will be able to enter their details into. The first detail the user needs to enter is their name. So drag the plain text field into the app like so. Second thing is their username. Third thing is their password. So drag the password field. Fourth thing is the age. So drag the number field. That's done. Now we need to drag a button into the app too. This will be what the user clicks to log in. Now that's done, we need to give each of these views a name because it will allow us to refer to them later in the Java file. So first one we want to name it name, so et name. Et stands for edit text, by the way. Second thing we need to name it username, so et username. Third field we need to name it password. Age. We also need to name the button because we'll also need to refer to this later. We're going to name this register, and also we need to change the text of the button to register. The final thing to do on this page is to give each of these text fields a hint. This will basically allow the user to know what to enter into them. So to do that, select the text field and in the properties section go to hint and then change that to name for the first one. For the second one, change that to username. Third field, password. and now the final field, age. Now we're all done with the register UI. Now we need to do the same thing for login UI. Now the user needs to be able to enter their username when logging in, so drag the login field, drag the plain text field into the app, and finally they need to enter a password. They also need a button to click to log in, and now finally they need a text view, so drag a medium text into it. This will act as a link to the register page. So first let's name each of them. So I'll name the first one username, username. This is also to refer to them back later in the Java file. Name the second one password, and we need to name and change the text of the button, so I'll change that to login, and then change the name, the ID to login, be login. Now we need to also change the text of the text view, so we're going to change that to register here, and then change the ID to TV, which stands for text view register here. Final thing we need to do on this page is to give a hint to the text field. So scroll down to hint. First hint is username. So just like before, the user will be able to know what to enter into these fields. And finally, password. Now we're all done with the login page. Finally, we need to design the user area page. Now the user area would have a welcome message up here, so we'll need to just give that a text view. Secondly, they will have a username right here, so we need to first put a text view to say that this is going to contain a username, so we need to change the text to username. And now we need to drag a plain text field under that, because this is where the username will be displayed. So just drag that over. Now second thing we're going to display to the user is their age, so same thing again, we drag a small text there to show that this is an age field, and then finally we drag number field into there and I extend that. We need to now name each of these things that we will need to refer back to in our Java file. So we need to name the welcome message, so I'll name that TV welcome message MSG. Change that. Now we need to name this field, so we'll be able to put their username in this field, so username. And finally we need to name the age. Now we're all done with the UI design for the app. Now if you run this application by clicking the run button over there, you see our design is displayed to us right here, and it looks beautiful, if I must say. If you had any problem with this tutorial, you can either comment on this YouTube video, or you can post on my Facebook wall, which will be linked right here. Now thank you for listening, guys. In the next tutorial we'll be discussing how to connect all these buttons and fields up to the Java file so they can actually do something.